Welcome to episode 37 of Everything Entertainment with Gooch and Trio. My name is Anthony the Gooch Rigucci, and next to me is...
Chris Trio the Trio. Is that right? That's how my nickname goes?
Yeah,
okay.
That's fine.
We got the episode number right this time?
Yeah, we did. 37.
Right, cool. 37. It happens. We messed up last week, but, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, early morning sesh going on right now. It is 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock in the 610? Are we still? No, we're Haverford right now.
No, it's 6:00
now. Yeah. 10 o'clock. This is the earliest I think we've ever done this.
Yeah.
We're still brushing off cobwebs right now, but we're going to do the best we can here.
Oh, it's going to be good.
Yep.
So what have you been up to, Trio? How's the week treating you?
It's been a rough start to the week, but I'm getting through it.
Finals. We were supposed to record yesterday, but your basement flooded, right?
No, it was just a little
like
problem.
A pipe burst?
Yeah, I don't even want
your
to talk
basement,
about it.
dude.
It's not fun. But yeah, finals too.
Yeah, I got one more tomorrow, and I'm done. I'm so excited just to be done. It doesn't even feel like summer, though.
No,
it's still cold.
Like, a few of my friends got home, and I'm like, wow, it's already summer. It's weird.
But, the weather
and the weather
like
sucks.
summer.
It's been raining for
2 weeks.
We got a day off from it yesterday, finally today. I mean,
is it cloudy? Yeah, it is cloudy.
It was raining earlier.
Really?
Yeah, it's wet out.
Seriously?
Dude, it's awful.
Oh, my God.
It's awful. And it's cold. And But anyways, let's get to some happier news. We'll start off with the conversation today with a very exciting talk. Captain America, Civil War. We saw it. We lived it. We were there. Gooch, what'd you think?
I really liked it. I think it kind of knocks Winter Soldier off my number one pedestal for the MCU movies.
It doesn't do that for me, but it's
I don't know.
Top
I don't know.
3.
It's got to sit more. I said it out of pure
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of thought that too,
movie.
but I got to see it Sunday night again, with my other friends, and it's not like it didn't hold up to the first time, but it's like that kind of shock and awe of the first viewing kind of wore off, where I was like more analytical. Yeah. And there are some parts where I'm just like, okay, this is a little talky, and I was with one of my friends. I wouldn't see this movie if you don't have any lead up to it at all.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
I know, some of my friends would go say it, and he didn't see the Winter Soldier. I'm like, that's a huge part of it.
That's the one thing that Marvel has done geniusly is it's made us all follow these movies to connect them, and if you don't, you're going to be at a real disadvantage. Like my one friend Ian, we saw it last night or Sunday night, and he was like, "Yeah, it was cool. I just was waiting for everyone to start fighting. Honestly, that was my favorite part." And I kind of understand that because he just hasn't watched all the.
That's what the
other movies, and
about.
It's yeah. And I'm more interested in the story, but there are the beginning. I feel it's a lot of catch up. He's here, they're there, but there are still the part with Crossbones, that whole interaction fight. So he's so good.
Yeah. So what was the last Marvel movie?
Before that was Ant-Man, right?
Has it been?
Yeah, it was Ant-Man. I'm pretty sure because that ended Phase 2.
Yeah, it was. So it's been the last time we saw everyone together was Age of Ultron, and we only saw Falcon and Ant-Man, so we kind of know where he was with training with the Avengers, and they reference that. But if you didn't watch Ant-Man, you don't really know who Ant-Man is.
Which I will admit isn't that big of a disadvantage.
Yeah, you can get by without watching Ant-Man, but you need to watch Winter Soldier. You need to watch both Avengers, and I think knowing who Cap is, seeing First Avenger, and then most of the Iron Mans is pretty necessary.
We've literally had close to 10 years now to develop these characters. Hulk came out in 2004? No, or was that 2008?
No, it was 2008. It was Iron Man.
Was it
then
later?
Hulk.
Yeah. No, it was. Oh yeah, because then
we
shows up.
We literally had this top. We said this before, except I said
it was backwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean there's continuity here, and you need to be up to date with it. And if you don't know it, you're gonna I don't think you're gonna enjoy it as much.
Yeah. Because you're not going to be into it. Why are you going to care about Bucky?
At the beginning, it starts out, we see Bucky in Siberia at, the Winter Soldier house.
And, you have no reference to that.
You're like, oh, what the fuck's going on with this dude? He's just getting electric shocked in the face. And then, I mean, I guess you could put it together he's some kind of soldier and, he's being activated.
Obviously. Yeah.
As long as you're not an idiot, I guess. And then he's like, they give him all these code words, and he's like, I'm ready to comply in Russian. Sounds crazy. Yeah. And then they send him out to kill, or to take what did they say? It's like retrieve, and there was some exact words they used. But
What, in
basically,
the
he has
code
to.
phrase?
Yeah.
I think it's just a phrase. I don't think it necessarily means anything.
He
It's
says
just,
homecoming too for one of the words.
Yeah,
which I thought
yeah.
was- there's
I thought
no
it was
connection, but
interesting,
I thought that was funny. So yeah, he gets sent out on this mission to retrieve what looked like, I guessed, super soldier serum,
which is what it was.
which ends up being, and he takes it back. He gets a good job, pat on the back, soldier, and then it cuts to
That was in the 90s.
91.
Yeah, so he's probably didn't come out. That was probably like one of the last missions he did for a while.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's kind of how like the movie starts, and we're getting the reference to the Winter Soldier.
And then we kind of cut to where was it? Lagos?
Yeah,
Or something.
In
Africa. Some small. I think it was Lagos in Africa, or some small country in Africa, and
that's where we get our Crossbones section. Where
who was dude? I thought he was awesome.
Yeah, he was. He
really
wasn't in
liked
the
him.
movie too long, so pretty much we have not necessarily Team Cap, but we have
The Avengers, basically.
yeah, an Avengers team going after Crossbones because he's still working with Hydra, and they're planning something.
They think he's going to hit a police station to get some guns. Then they end up going after the Center for Disease Control or something.
Like
there.
some biological weapon that Crossbones is looking for, and
we see all these really cool parts. Like
yeah,
them
the
just
fight
working
scenes
together.
are like really good, and like this is just setting the stage, and then I kind of want to diverge off just like the mainstream plot. So what the reason the Sokovia Accords and Wakanda and like kind of why this all happens is because Cap defeats Crossbones, and he's like. He like pulls some bombs off of him, and he's ready to like blow himself up with Cap. And Scarlet Witch shields Crossbones, so like the explosion is contained.
And
it was like fucking crazy. But like she like throws him up, and I guess she like loses the
force field. I guess
does the explosion overpower the
Well,
shield?
no, basically I think all she's doing is just kind of letting it go and
Yeah,
throwing
she,
it up
like,
in the air.
throws him up.
And then it just basically explodes next to this building and kills a few people, like 12 or so people.
Including Wakandans, which is why the Black Panther gets into it. So let's talk about Black Panther as a whole. Yeah, really good.
Cool. Dude, Chadwick Boseman.
They introduced him really well. And
Yeah.
they made the Wakandans and seem like very interesting. Like they didn't seem boring. Like King T'Chaka was very cool in his demeanor, and you could see how his son T'Challa was so much different. Mm-hmm. And
T'Chaka was looking for T'Challa was looking for peace, and while T'Chaka really kind of just felt like he says something in the movie. He's like, 2 people in a room can get more done than 200, and then his father walks up and he's like, not if you need to build like a house or something.
Other way around.
Or something like that.
T'Challa's Black Panther.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not very versed on Black Panther. I'm a terrible person.
But yeah, like he was Black Panther before that, which was interesting. So like that is like a heritage thing that's passed down. But like throughout the movie,
There's
like
one dude, like it was just Black Panther. I thought they really did justice to, in my opinion, not being a gigantic fan or know much about him. I don't know much about Black Panther other than he's very like I knew his like the Black Panther mantle was passed down, but like other than that, and I know Wakanda is known for the vibranium, and that's really important. They mentioned that in Age of Ultron, which is like where the Black Panther references started with what's his face, the Claw. Yeah. And dude, even like his suit looks so cool.
Yeah.
Like it was funny because I was really wondering how they're gonna do it. I'm like, how are they just gonna do this matte like black suit? And like the way that they like kind of do like the layers of fabric and like how
it's a vibranium like weave.
And, dude, it just looks so cool.
It's sick.
It
oh
is.
My god,
it's
sick.
And just his whole journey, like it just makes sense.
He has his own. Let's kind of like expand this. Everyone in the movie has their own arc, including Black Panther, Scarlet Witch, Vision. The only people who don't really have an arc is Hawkeye and Ant-Man, just because they're not even in the movie that much. They're very small parts. Like even though Spider-Man isn't in the movie that much, he has his own little arc.
Yeah. Like he's probably Spider-Man's in it for like 20 minutes, but we'll get to him.
What did you think about Scarlet Witch and Vision stuff?
Awesome. Like it was funny because I didn't hate.
Scarlet
Witch in Age of Ultron.
I didn't. It's not. Yeah, I didn't hate. I liked Scarlet Witch in Age of Ultron, but I wasn't like forming an opinion.
Yeah, and this one really like I'll say, like, she's the most powerful one there, I feel like, in the way of, or not, well, maybe not Vision.
Well, she's the only, like, magic user.
Like, metahuman, and, like, even you see Vision, like, he thinks logically, he thinks calculating. Like, he knows what's good and what's bad, whereas you have Wanda, she's still a human being, but she has these, like, extraordinary powers.
And she's younger.
And, yeah, she's just, like Cap says it, she's just a kid, like.
She must be, like, our age.
Yeah, that's what they're, 20s. Setting her up to kind of be, and... Like, she's just like, I can't control everyone's fear. I might as well control my own. And it's like she's the way they just set up her arc. I just didn't see it coming.
Yeah, and her and Vision have like a love interest in the comics for Age of Ultron. They're very much,
and it's like they don't even really pin it as like a love interest.
It's
almost till the end. It's almost like a really good friendship.
Nah, Vision is more into it than she is.
I'm saying until like the end part where like they kind of say I'm sorry to each other. And
but like I like how Vision is more into it than she is, and like Vision brings that point up where like in the one part with the airport scene, he gets distracted and hits War Machine with one of his blasts and ends up paralyzing him, and like. He got distracted by a girl.
Yeah, and he's
like Vision, a synthetic
Tony goes like,
android.
"What happened?" He's like, "I got distracted." And he's like, "I didn't know you could do that."
He's like, "I didn't either."
Yeah. And it was perfect.
That making that like human element on Vision was really cool. I really and that really shined on Vision.
I love Paul Bettany too, the actor who plays him. I feel like he's.
Yeah, really and they have some good. The Vision has some good comical parts that are just fucking hilarious. Like he phases through. He's like, "Oh, the door was open, so I just came through the wall." It's just like
it's so good. And he's just wearing a sweater. Like
he's wearing clothes. It's great.
But I mean, yeah, it's Scarlet Witch, Vision. A plus on them. Like, dude, Russo brothers, like, the way that they juggled all
the comedy is really good, even between the Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Oh, there's can you move your seat up?
No.
He just moves over. And then, even when he finally kisses Agent 13.
And they're just in the car, like, yeah.
I was like, because that's what dudes would do. We'd be like, good job. It's just little things. Like, I don't know how they juggle, like, just these, like quippy moments with these action set pieces and just, dude, it's just a good movie. Like, so, I don't care. You can say that like superhero movies are stupid or whatever, but
you're an idiot.
Well, like they're just guys in capes hitting each other. But this is just break it down. It's a well scripted, well thought out movie, and that's what.
So what did you think of the teams? Like, were you like we were both on Team Cap to start, and I'm still on Team Cap. Did you like?
I'm not gonna lie. It tugged my heartstrings near the end.
You're good.
When they basically, so we kind of get to this penultimate moment at the end. We'll just skip, like, where they Tony, Cap, Bucky. Tony realizes, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Like, I realized Bucky didn't do all this. I'm here to help you. And they think Zemo's going to activate these 5 super soldiers that are like the Winter Soldier. That's another thing I like. He killed them. He's like, no, I don't want those fucking crazy fuckers out there. Are you insane? You think I want 5 more of you? And then he's like, the only way to crumble an empire is for it to fall within. And then he shows him the video of Winter Soldier when he went to do that job that we talked about at the beginning of the movie.
And I fucking called it. In the theater. I was like,
he's like, dude,
that's the Starks.
Yeah,
I'm like, done.
We find out
that's it.
Winter Soldier killed the Starks that night as well. And
that's brutal.
Dude, the way he does it, so like, he gets out, Howard gets out, and he's like, help my wife. He didn't die in the crash. And basically, Winter Soldier literally pounds his face in.
So it looks
just
like
with a straight face. And then just puts him back in the car, chokes out his mother, takes the super soldier serum.
And like that's what snaps Tony. And it's kind of like the Batman v Superman thing where the parental experience.
Parallels here.
And I heard somebody argue like it was, it was kind of like cheesy. I'm like, no, it's not.
Well, no, dude.
Like, again, just like Batman, the death of his parents is a pivotal moment in his character.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's just like, I'll even give it, just the way that they set it up was so much better than Batman vs. Superman. I hate comparing it, because just that's what everyone's doing. I mean, but there are so many parallels in this movie. Like, yeah, sure, there just happened to be a camera on that street. It's a movie. Get over it. There's going to be... They have this thing... I don't think it's cheesy at all, dude. Tony... He at the beginning they set up he finally dealt with the grief of his parents. Like, he realized he should have reconciled with his dad.
Like
he wanted to see, and he sees this guy literally beat his father's face in front of him, and then he turns to the Cap and is like, "Did you know?" And he's like, no.
I didn't know
he's
he
like,
knew
don't
that.
bullshit me. No, I don't think he knew, but I think he, like, kind of knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was
I think
wait, does he know?
basically, like, he goes like, no. And he's like, don't bullshit me, Rogers. And he's like, yes, I did. And like I said, I don't think
That's
like
the last
I don't
fight.
think he literally got confirmation, but I just think he just assumed that that's what happened. Like, that's what they did with. And basically, he literally just hits Cap away and then goes after Bucky, and that whole fight is so intense. And literally, like, finally Cap's beating him down. And I'm like, dude, I feel fucking bad for Iron Man. Like, I get it, dude. He killed. There's one part he just goes,
I totally fell for him.
like, dude, he's like, he killed my mom, man.
Like, I understand why I was fighting, and it wasn't like, you should stop. So let's move on. Let's talk about Zemo, because I think Zemo is probably one of the most interesting part of the movies. So compared to the comics, Zemo is a Hydra dude through and through. Hydra guy, purple mask, very comic book-esque
Character.
Yeah. And they totally don't do that at all in the movie.
Which I'm fine with.
Zemo is a Sokovian citizen. He was in the army. He has special forces training. And, like, his family gets killed during the Sokovia incident in Age of Ultron. And he uses that rage to pretty much say, like, you know, the Avengers need to pay for what they did. But he can't take them on head first, obviously. He's just a guy. Like, what's he going to do?
Like
and he says that.
Yeah, he's like, the only way to crumble an empire is from within.
Yeah, so he takes them out within. And I think what is amazing about Zemo is super simple. There's nothing complex about him. But the fact that a simple guy like him was able to create a conflict within the Avengers is very interesting.
I wouldn't say he's a total simple guy. I mean, he does have special forces training. He has all the technology.
But like,
and he even like a lot of people.
But like, he doesn't fight at all in the movie.
But a lot of people, I've been hearing complaints online. He's like, how did he know how to do all this? How did he happen to know that this would work out? I was like, he's had a year to plan this out. He even says at the beginning of the movie, and Black Widow leaked all the Hydra's files.
Yeah.
And he's like, they were encrypted, but as long as you had time and patience.
Yeah.
Like, I can get into them.
And like when he's torturing the one Hydra dude, I'm like, wait, is he another head of Hydra? Because I would understand if they were infighting in Hydra.
And then,
that does happen a lot.
And then Zemo's like, I want to see Hydra burn on the ash heap where it belongs or something.
So
and then you're like, what?
It seems like Hydra's at a super low point now. Even in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like, Hive isn't really Hydra.
Yeah.
Hydra's pretty much like at a really, really low point. I wonder if they're ever going to bring them back. Probably not to the extent they have, but some sort of off topic. But yeah, I thought Zemo was really well done. I liked it. And they didn't make the movie about him.
No.
And like that's what I like.
And even they kind of set up at the beginning, like he's listening to this message from his wife, it sounds like. And I kind of thought she was still alive. I thought it was like, dude, this is weird. Like, this guy's a wife and kids, and he's like... And he's just getting messages from him while he's fucking trying to take out the Avengers.
Yeah.
And then you finally figure out that it's just the last recording he has of him. But the whole conflict altogether just felt really necessary, I guess is the best part about it.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
the Sokovia Accords do go through, by the way.
And that's it. That's the one thing that kind of confused me too. They really didn't.
Ending, if I have to complain about one thing about the movie, the ending just kind of like half ties the bow. It's like, all right, well, I wanted to wrap up just a little bit more. Yeah. Because, like, they don't really say if the Sokovia Accords went through, which they do. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they're talking about it next week on the episode. Like, one thing that they didn't do on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week was...
have, like, a tie-in?
Yeah. Like, they released a little clip that was pretty much Talbot talking to Coulson about it. So, like, the Sokovia Accords went through. He even says it. Like, the Sokovia Accords are, like, a thing now. So, like, are you going to release... And he talks about, like, him registering the Inhumans he doesn't have documented, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah. I kind of like the way they handled the Sokovia Accords at first. Like,
I thought... I mean, dude,
Thunderbolt Ross
one thing, Ross, thinking back to it, I was like, why is he... How did he get this job? He fucking fucked up Brazil trying to get Banner. Fucked up New York trying to get Banner. He has no right to talk to these guys about, like, you should take responsibility for your actions. Like, I would have honestly rather seen Martin Freeman's role kind of get that all out more than him.
What are you talking about?
Thunderbolt. Like, he has, like, the way he's a... Yeah, I know.
His name is Thaddeus, not Everett. Everett Ross is Martin Freeman.
No, I know. I'm saying that they should have gotten him out of the movie and given all his lines to Everett Ross.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's why I just think...
I think it's...
I think it makes no... Like, thinking back, in the moment, I thought it was cool. Like, oh, we get to see this guy. It's a connection back to Hulk. But at the same time, I'm like, why is this guy giving these guys fucking advice on how to not fuck up things? He fucked up so many things trying to get Banner. He destroyed so many cities. He fucked up Brazil. He went apeshit in New York trying to get Banner. He's usually the one that makes him go Hulk. Like, he has no fucking place to tell these guys that you should take responsibility for your actions.
He's government.
I know, but I would like I really liked Martin Freeman's role, like, with Everett Ross, and I would have liked to seen him more.
Yeah. Everett Ross, really, Martin Freeman's character was not really in the movie a lot. So let's kind of like end this. Let's talk about real quick Spider-Man and the big fight between the teams at the airport. That fight was amazing.
We'll go with the fight first. Yeah,
by far, literally.
Actually, Spider-Man, because then he'll be in the fight. So
okay, true.
So basically, we get to this part where they're like, "All right, we need to get ready for this fight at the airport." And Black Widow's like, Tony's like, "Oh, where's your guy?" And she's like, "Downstairs." And he's like, "What?" And then she's like, "Where's your guy?" And then he goes, and then he just smiles, and then it cuts to Queens, and then you're like, "Ah!" Like, and,
yeah.
Dude, I gotta like, if you love these movies, go see them opening night, because there's nothing like seeing it with that crowd that's really into it. Like, I went Sunday night and just not nearly as many people. Like, you get those like, haha, and those like, woo, but you don't get like the whole theater going like, yeah!
Yeah, like our Age of Ultron theater was pretty crazy. Our Civil War one was like that too, but Age of Ultron more so.
But like, and it cuts to this elevator, see a kid walking out, goes into his apartment, and then he goes, "Hey, Aunt May, I'm home." Cuts to him, and then he's like, and it's Tony and fucking Aunt May sitting on the couch. Aunt May, by the way, looking very foxy. Anyways, so he goes like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Stark, what are you, Tony Stark? What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I'm here about the grant." And then he starts winking at him behind her back. And he's like, "Yeah, the grant. And dude, just their whole repertoire. Like, Tony's making jokes about hot Aunt May. He's just confused about why he's here. Peter's like, "Oh, is there any money involved in this?" And he apparently has a Queen's accent too, which I think is cool.
Really?
Yeah, which is a pretty cool touch. I didn't know either, because like I was listening to it and I'm like, is there even a difference? But yeah, I mean, dude, just their repertoire between him and Tony, just the way they bounce off each other, just felt very fluid and just, dude, Tom Holland, I can't wait to see
so the only
more. reason
Iron Man recruits Spider-Man is pretty much because they need an upper hand. He doesn't like really involve, like, one thing that like I thought was interesting, like Spider-Man doesn't really know what's going on. He's just kind of there.
No, he's very he is a little shoehorned in, I feel like, in a way.
Yeah, literally,
I feel like they got it.
Notice how, like, even in his comic book role, so much different. He's so much more involved, and they barely even do anything near that in the movie. Like, cause, like, I mean,
and I think that's what they're going to start building upon. Like, I mean, next, obviously, Homecoming, you have in Homecoming, you got Tony coming back for a key role. So obviously, you're going to kind of see him being more introduced into like the kind of mainstream. Also, just on a quick note, forget it. We already talked about that.
What?
No, the Iron Man 4 thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dude, just Tom Holland, he has that really just kind of kiddish attitude. Like, you really feel like he's like kind of stumbling over his words. He's like, and Tony's like, "All right, you're coming to Germany with me." He's like, "Dude, I got like homework. Like, I can't just leave. Like, are you crazy?" And they nail him. From what I've seen, they nail this guy.
I think they do a good job. A lot of people like didn't like it, and I'm like, well, that's how he is in the comic.
What do you mean they didn't like how young he was?
Or like, yeah, they kind of. I heard a lot of like people like just like didn't like how like, I guess for lack of better, comic booky. He is very comic booky, but like I'm like that is Spider-Man, yeah. Not Peter Parker. Like Spider-Man is like that. Yeah. Like you gotta like they even in like the animated series you watch, like he is very much like that.
Well, no, dude, he's quit. Like, dude, he makes jokes. He's in the moment. He's enjoying being a superhero, and like even, dude, he's so strong. Like I like how freaking much they show off his strength. Like there's a video of him
when he takes
he like catches a car,
or catches the truck,
and like he's like, "Oh, that was 40 miles per hour, 2,500 pounds." Like, wow, that's fucking crazy. How'd you lift that? And it's just like, they're really taking advantage of like this crazy stuff, and there's this really. Well, I guess we'll just kind of move on to the airport fight. You kind of get these cool moments. Like there's one moment between him and Cap
We were talking about like where they're from in Brooklyn and Queens,
and it's just it's
a nice
awesome.
touch,
and
they all kind of have that. They all kind of like Ant-Man and with Cap and Hawkeye, they have the same type of
even
thing.
Ant-Man when he shrinks and goes inside Tony's armor, he's like, "Who? What is this? What's going on?" He's like, "It's your conscience." Like, I want to see more of that, like back and forth between Paul Rudd and Robert Downey Jr. But anyways, there's just that whole fight scene.
And Giant Man though,
Giant
literally like didn't expect to see that at all,
dude. I kind of thought about it, but I was like, nah.
Yeah,
so,
I didn't think about it.
Yeah, like we get to this whole scene and they have this big face off, dude. I've just never seen a fight scene where everything just fluidly works together this well. Like, there's a part, Scarlet Witch is like lifting up things, Spider-Man swinging from him, you see freaking War Machine taking down fucking Hawkeye or whatever. Like, dude, it's crazy.
I think it worked really well.
It works so well. And then, yeah, you get to this part where just Ant-Man's like, all right, I mean, I got something I can try, but I've only done it in the lab once, and I passed out. Just give me a shot. And then I saw him go on his thing, and it switched to
I knew
blue.
it. I knew exactly what he was
like,
doing when he said it.
I was like,
oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, he's going to go big. He's going to go big, and he just swipes, and then he's like, holy shit. And he grabs Rhodey. And then Iron Man's just like, give me my Rhodey back. And it's so great. And then Spider-Man makes a reference to fucking The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And trips him up.
You see that meme?
Yeah, that's so great.
It's like Ant-Man, AT-AT.
And then it's him as a snow speeder. Dude, it's just, like, Spider-Man also, he has this moment with, like, Winter Soldier and Falcon. And he just kind of stops to talk to Falcon. He's like, dude, what kind of wings are those? Like carbon fiber? Like armor-proof? Or, bulletproof? He's like, we usually don't talk this much during a fight. He's like, sorry. Then he just goes over and kicks him. It's just awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it any better. I mean, you get these really cool moments with Scarlet Witch and her powers, like, Vision cuts down
the fact that
Tower.
Scarlet Witch controls the Mind Gem is absolutely
that's right.
Yeah. I think that's really like an important tidbit to take away.
I like the way I even liked Hawkeye in this movie. I know he wasn't in for that long, but like the way he came in, he's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? I leave for like 2 months and like shit hits the fan, and he's like, why would you even do this?
Yeah, so he retired, which I thought was interesting.
And we didn't talk about one important part for Tony, the mother.
Yeah, the mother in the beginning,
him,
which is why he kind of takes the side in the Sokovia Accord.
Yeah, I think that definitely adds to it. But we've been kind of seeing this kind of switch of Tony's like attitude towards this since, I don't even know, New York. Like, you see him with his PTSD, and he's just dealing with these crazy traumatic incidents, and he sees all these people like dying in the wake. And I mean, Cap, there's this whole different philosophy. Like, Cap's like, yeah, people died, but more people would have died if we weren't there. And if we start giving up our rights to be there and have to listen to someone, then what are we?
Yeah, both sides make a lot of sense.
They really
both sides
do.
have their pros and cons. It's just a matter of which one you really pick.
I mean,
they make both sides appealing.
So basically, Tony has this interaction with this woman who's like, who tells him that her son died in Sokovia, and she basically goes like, "You killed him." And that's straight out of Civil War comic. But in the comics, he's at a funeral for, I think, another superhero, and a woman runs up to him and like slaps him in the face and is like crying, and he's like, "You killed my son! You killed my son!" And I mean, dude's a powerful moment, and I think it really kind of gave you the reason for why he's doing this.
Yeah. So that's kind of one thing I want to mention before we wrap up. I like how they killed Peggy.
Yeah, same.
Super interesting because it's like a world moving thing. It has nothing to do with the movie, but the fact that Peggy Carter passes away is interesting. I liked it.
It's tough. Yeah,
I mean, like, she was old. Like,
and as much as this is like a kind of Avengers 2.5, they do focus on Cap.
Yeah, they do.
Time.
It is
like,
very
it is
much in the
America.
focal point of Cap.
And I think that's good. He's in most of, if not
Yeah,
all.
Like, I like how they kept Tony out of his armor a lot, too. He wasn't, like, he didn't fight until they started fighting at the airport.
No, and it makes sense. Why would, and even Black Widow's like, where's your suit? He's like, oh, I have it on. It's a 3-piece made of silk. Like, what do you think? I'm a non-combatant. Like, he's trying to really, like, advocate for, like, his side. And it's just tough. I mean, they both doing what they can. But,
yeah.
And they both have their like you said, pros and cons. But
So yeah, wrap up. Pretty much, Cap pretty much wins. Like if he
yeah,
wins
I guess,
the fight.
yeah.
Like he beats the shit. Like that last fight is pretty brutal, where Bucky gets his arm blown off.
that's right. Yeah, you almost think that Bucky's gonna rip out his what is that called again?
Arc reactor.
And then he just fucking blows his hand off.
Yeah.
His whole arm. He's like, ah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't expect that. Yeah, and then the whole scene where like he's like, my father made that shield, and then he just drops it. Which when we came out of the theater, I'm like, they're totally gonna make a new shield.
In Wakanda.
Yeah,
There's no reason why
But
not.
I'm like, dude, that's a very good way to get rid of the shield so you can redesign a new one. Mm-hmm. Which would be interesting.
And then it has the scratches on it, too.
They've been using the same shield since First Avenger. That's the same shield. Yeah. So
overall, dude, this is just a very solid movie. I get that I have some complaints with pacing a little bit. But besides that, like the second half, I feel like really picks up compared to the first half, at least in my second viewing.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, top 3 Marvel movies of all time, easy. Winter Soldier still has it for me just because it's so focused and just so well done.
And make sure you stick around for the end credit stuff.
Definitely.
The Spider-Man scene, which isn't, we won't go too in depth with.
You just see he kind of
because it's not anything crazy. And then the first end credit scene is Bucky going back to sleep.
Yeah, in Wakanda. Yeah. We get the Black Panther monument. We see Wakanda for the first time. Go see this movie.
Yeah,
and I think that's really all we got to say on the matter.
We got 2 Marvel topics besides Civil War. They announced that Infinity War Part 1 and 2 are getting new titles, which is fine. So I'm figuring it's going to be like Infinity War with a sub.
No,
title.
It's totally new.
Really? Yeah. They're ditching Infinity War?
He's like they even released a statement about it. They're like, oh, we see these 2-parters and they mostly don't work. Like, we want to reassure people that these are 2 separate
things.
Entities.
Okay.
It's going to be Avengers 3 and Avengers 4.
Okay. Cool.
Which I'm fine with.
Yeah, and then the last one is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I won't go too in depth with it. So we already talked about a bunch of Marvel stuff, but it's pretty much Hive trying to recreate the the Inhuman experiment that happened on him. So like directly infusing Kree blood into a person to create an Inhuman, rather than doing it through the Terrigenesis, which is when they use the Terrigen mist and it kind of like reacts to the humans. So I guess it makes more powerful Inhumans.
Okay.
And Skye, that's how Skye is actually created. She dies in season 1. And maybe it's in the beginning of season... No, it's season 1. It's definitely season 1. And, like, they use Kree blood to bring her back.
That's right.
That's how they bring back Coulson, too. He, like, in the Tahiti Project, they use Kree blood. Because they have a Kree, like... The shield had a Kree in, like, a tube that crash landed, and it was, like, half his body. And, like, they were using the blood for experiments. And that's what, like... Tahiti was supposed to bring back Avengers. That was the point of it. So they used it on Coulson. But yeah, so like at the end, they kind of like Hive like uses this thing to interact with Kree that are like orbiting the planet. They're like Reapers. They're pretty much like there to hunt Inhumans, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And they come down, and he tries to kill them and get their blood, but it doesn't really work out. S.H.I.E.L.D. obviously intervenes. And then Skye's like, well, you could just drain me and kill me and use my blood. And then that's kind of like where the episode ends. And like you see the characters kind of have this. Their interpersonal moments when they're like, Mac is talking with Skye and like, or Daisy, and she's like, you know, he's like, can't believe it, and like they kind of have this interpersonal thing, and wow, you know, Coulson does that a lot in the show. It's funny, like he calls her Skye, and then he's like, Daisy, damn it, and he's like, God, okay, yeah, I remember that, but he does it a few times.
That's great.
But yeah. And I can't wait to see what Civil War stuff we get next week.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the other side of the pond, Gotham. We finally got to see Azrael this week.
Oh yeah.
We're recording we're recording like 2 days late, so I have like 3 different sets of shows in my mind right now that I'm trying to sift through.
Yeah.
So last week, the week before, we saw Freeze try and go after Gordon, but Gordon caught a glimpse of the old Freeze.
Knowing that he was alive when they thought he was dead.
Yeah, and he's like, what the fuck? And then Strange decides, hey, you know what? Why not send out another dead person?
Theo Galavan.
So Azrael steps in the fold. Costume looks really cool.
Yeah. Very different from, like, the Arkham Knight approach, which is where I first was introduced to the character.
Yes, me as well. It was cool. We kind of see him... What happened again? He goes after him.
He pretty much goes after... Hugo Strange sends him after
Gordon, yeah. And then I can't remember what exactly he does.
I mean, like, he just kind of goes after him.
And then he reveals himself at one point.
Well, no, he doesn't reveal himself. His mask...
That's right, it falls
pretty
off.
much the episode is just them kind of fighting. Barnes and Gordon get in a fight, and they're on the roof, and his well, he's fighting Barnes, and his mask gets knocked off.
That's right.
And then he's like, fucking Theo Galavan, and then he stabs him in the chest, and it looked like he died, but we don't really know. Mm-hmm. He definitely sustained a nasty injury. And then Gordon, I think, shoots Theo, and he falls off, and then they're, like, reporting, and then he hits a van, and then they're like, holy shit, it's Theo Galavan.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he was dead. I thought that was interesting that they revealed him. And then Tabitha finds out through the news, too.
Mm-hmm. So what the fuck?
Yeah. That's kind of all that happens. But I liked Azrael. It was cool.
I don't get why Strange keeps sending out these people that Gordon thinks is dead.
It's kind of stupid. It is counterintuitive.
Like, it's leading right back to you. Like, you had Victor Freeze last time. He died under your care. And now he's alive.
No, you're right.
But, hey, I'm not Hugo Strange. Anyways, moving on. We finally got our first look at the Power Rangers costume. A lot of people are comparing them to Iron Man suits, which, I mean, I guess is fair in a way.
They're very armor-centric.
Which I think makes sense. You kind of see their morpher. The morpher looks like it almost has, like, a galaxy in it or something. And the chest piece. I think they look cool. I think
they look really cool.
I think they look awesome.
Really like
the only thing I wish they all had that was their animals on their helmet. Only the Red Ranger has the T-Rex, as his helmet. Yeah. Like, you can see it's like the teeth around the top of his head. The girls have wedges, which doesn't really... I mean, I don't know. I don't really care, but I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any... Yeah, then they got nice push-up bra boobs. I mean, dude, I totally get it. Like, there is no reason for, like...
It's armor.
It's aesthetically, there's no... Or not aesthetically. What should I say? For comfortability, you don't need wedges. Like, they should just be in boots. Like the guys are. Like, that doesn't make any sense. The breastplates I kind of get. Like, I don't know. I feel like that just fits
their contours
their body.
Like, it's not going to, like, let, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but the wedges I do understand. There's really no practical, that's the word I'm looking for, practical use or need for those.
I wonder if we're going to get the Green Ranger, though, because we only got the blue, pink, red, black,
dude, because the Green Ranger is a product of Rita Repulsa. Like, she makes...
Yeah, I didn't know that. Double agent. No idea about that.
That's what I'm saying. You know. You should watch more Power Rangers. Okay? They're all on Netflix.
Are they?
Yeah. I watched the first episode and couldn't get through it because it was just like, I'm like, man, this was good when I was a kid, but it just doesn't hold up.
No, not at all.
Moving on, we finally got our young Han Solo. Gooch, do you have the article up? Because mine won't load.
Yeah, I'm about to pull it up. Or
Aldrich, what's his name?
Alright, so our new Han Solo is Alden
Ehrenreich.
And for as far as I know, he's pretty much an unknown.
Dude, I mean, he actually kind of looks like Han Solo. Like, he's kind of got that chin working. I could see him.
He's kind of got the chin.
I mean, dude, what I like about this is that you don't know his mannerisms. You don't know him at all, really. He's just going to be...
Well, they have to cast him unknown.
They really do. Like, dude, they could not have gotten Miles Teller in that role or anything. Like, James Franco, or not James Franco, what's it, his little brother? Dave Franco? Like, what? No. Are you crazy? I would have, honestly, what's his name? Clint Eastwood's son I would have been fine with. What's his name?
Scott.
Yeah, but, I don't know. So, dude, Christopher Miller, the Millers, right? Lord and Miller are directing this movie.
I don't know.
Yeah. They were the same guys who did 21 Jump Street. So, dude, should be interesting. I mean,
yes.
I'm personally kind of fine with not seeing another...
And Lego Movie.
Yeah. I'm personally fine with not seeing Han Solo prequel, but I mean, I'm not going to say no.
I'm taking these side stories very grain of salt. I don't know. I feel
Rogue
like
One got me so pumped when I saw that trailer in the theater.
it didn't get me. Oh, it sucks we didn't see it in our
Yeah, I
cinema
saw on mine. It was
Yeah.
so weird. Dude, I don't know why. And there's just so many little parts. I just can't wait to find out about more of the lore of Star Wars just because I'm so interested in it. Like, I just think there are so many more interesting stories besides Han Solo to tell, especially considering he just died in Episode 7.
Spoiler.
I don't know. If you haven't seen that, go fuck yourself. I don't know.
I
I don't know what to tell you. But, yeah, that's my 2 cents on the matter. Moving on. Game of Thrones, Season 6.
Jon Snow lives.
Episode...
Jon Snow lives.
We'll just start out.
Jon Snow's alive.
So
fast. Did not expect that in episode 2, man. Literally, so like they do the resurrection ritual, and then like kind of nothing happens, and they all kind of walk out.
See, dude, what made it fine with me though? I would have been pissed.
Like I'm okay with
no,
it.
No. Oh no, I know. I'm saying, but like I kind of would have been a little bit mad, but I gotta admit, they had me for a minute where I was like, is he not gonna wake up?
And they were just gonna end it.
Yeah, like I could have seen them doing
And then
that.
he takes that breath like in Mass Effect when you did the destroy ending.
Like I could totally see them just doing that to us and just being like, "Hey, he's coming back. He's coming back." No, he's not. Why would you think we were gonna do that? Like,
I thought one thing that kind of sucks is like we all knew it was gonna happen. Like if we did not know,
I'm saying that's what sold it on me.
I think that's why they did it so early because people were talking about it so much.
No, I don't think so.
I do. I think it had something to do with it.
I don't think so. It just makes it. We'll see what happens. I mean, even at the end of the next episode, which we won't talk about this week, like we kind of see why. But, dude, he's just... I totally lost my train of thought. I mean, he's not going to be mostly the same guy. I mean, death takes away something. Even the one guy that has done to him before says something like that in the Red Priest.
6 times, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's been fucking resurrected 6 times. Jesus Christ. But, yeah, Jon Snow's back. He still has this kind of holes in his chest.
I think they'll heal, I assume.
At some point, or even scar over, I'd hope.
Probably. I mean, obviously.
But yeah,
another death.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, dude, that sold me on it. That moment of where
and we only got a little.
Happen.
Yeah, another death we got. Well, let's actually talk about Castle Black. And like they try to, like clearly they're defending Jon Snow's body like to the death here. Like we get a little bit more of that. Like Alistair Thorne tries to like compromise with them, but they're not having it.
And then finally, all the wildlings show up.
Yeah,
and burst in the gate. And take them. Dude, the giant comes in and they're all like stop. And one guy shoots the giant in the back, like, and he literally whips him off it and just hits him into the wall. And then everyone just drops their shit.
It's like, yeah, we're done.
And that was one of my, like, yes moments. I was like, let's do it. And, yeah, so we kind of have these moments between Davos and the Red Woman. And it's funny because he convinces her to kind of try this and give it a try.
I really like this is the first time in the show I actually liked Davos. But not that I didn't like him, but really, like, he's doing a lot with him.
He's just kind of that voice of reason, honestly, right now. He's just like, if you, like, who the fuck cares? Like, we need you right now. And I'm excited to see what happens when he finds out that she's the reason Shireen dies. Like, that has to come out at some point.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't know.
Yeah, he has no idea. Basically, she convinced him to burn her alive. Ooh. Anyways, moving over to Winterfell. We had the Boltons hanging out there. As we know, Sansa is away. They couldn't find her. Brianna takes her. Brienne saves her. We don't see her. Do we see her this episode, actually? I can't remember.
Little.
Maybe for like a minute, like where she's talking to him. Yeah, because she mentions Arya. She's asking her about Arya at some point, and she's like, "Yeah, I think she's fine. I don't know if you'll ever see her again, though."
Oh yeah, they're talking about the Hound. The encounter with that.
And yeah, so
the big thing with the Boltons is fucking Roose dies, dude.
Yeah, so
basically, like when they stabbed Roose, were you like, holy shit, what just happened? No. It looked like both of them stabbed each other.
See, that's the thing. I was a little confused at first. Like, if
they both make
went
a weird face. Yeah.
But, like, see...
And I was like...
I felt bad because I could actually tell, like, I'll give it to him. They made me feel like Ramsay kind of didn't want to kill him, but he knew
He
He
had
had
to.
especially because he had a boy. If he didn't have a boy, I don't think he would.
No, he wouldn't have killed him because there would have been no threat.
There's no point.
And
but
then
he
he ends
lost
up killing-
Sansa, and he has a firstborn son now.
And he ends up killing Walder Frey and the unborn son. He throws him to the dogs, kind of like a theme of like what he's been doing with dead people.
Not Walder Frey. He kills his wife.
Walda, yeah. her name's
Walda.
Walda.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
said Walder. I'm like, Walder.
Yeah, they say her name and that like stuck as Walder.
Yeah. And feeds her to the dogs, and she's like, Ramsay, he's your brother, and he's
now
like, I
he's
like being an
Lord
only
Bolton.
child. Yeah. And he basically is like, send a raven out, say he was killed by our enemies. And there's one, I can't even talk. It's in the next episode. But yeah, that happens. I kind of, as soon as he said it was a boy, I knew it was coming.
Oh yeah. I'm like, oh
I was
shit.
like, fuck.
People are dead.
Yeah. And, dude, he just stabs him in the gut. That's the end of Roose. Dude, that freaking sigil's a flayed man. They shouldn't fucking be ruling anything. Like, what the hell is that? Like, I see it on his chest. I'm like, that's so fucked up. Like, why is that
it
your
is very
symbol?
weird, yeah.
Like, but yeah, I mean,
Dude,
and even dude, he's having this moment before, like, he's like, we can't be animals. We can't go up there and just slaughter. Because because he comes in and talks about the wildlings. He let the people through the gates, and he's like, dude, we can't go up and just murder Jon Snow. Or no, that's just because he's just half Stark. That's right. I'm sorry, I'm getting into the next episode a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, he's basically saying, like, we have to go take out Jon Snow. He's half Stark. Like, he's a threat to Winterfell. And Bruce is like, if we act like animals, we're treated like animals. And then that's when that whole thing happens.
Yeah.
Also, we see Arya over in Essos.
Arya gets accepted back into the house, which is pretty much the only thing that happens.
Yep.
We see some Greyjoy development. Euron Greyjoy comes into the scene, who's one of the Greyjoy brothers we haven't seen. Kind of kills Lord Greyjoy.
Theon's father. I don't know his name.
Yeah, and they do the funeral, but it looks like Greyjoys are going to be under some new management.
New shit happened.
And then the only thing that happened in King's Landing is Tommen is kind of conflicted because his mom is telling him stuff, feeding him the bullshit, and he's totally falling
Well, I
for
don't
it.
think it's even, honestly, I don't
Not
think
feeding
it's
him the bullshit,
Well,
but
no.
feeding him what
she
she wants
gave
him
to-
to hear in order to make him
Well-
a crazy fucker.
Well, no, it's not. I don't even think it's like that. I honestly feel like Cersei, like, loves her children. Like,
Oh,
that's the
she
only-
does.
And like,
but she's doing this. She's manipulating him
I don't even think she's
to a
manipulating.
point where like his opinions will be hers. His choices will benefit her. That's what
I see what
she's
you're saying.
doing.
That
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
But, and like, I did kind of like this moment, even though I hate Cersei. It was kind of like a nice moment of like where he's like, "Mom, I'm like sorry. Like, I should have fucking taken down the Sept to take you back." Like, I mean, even if you hate Cersei, and like you can feel that, like, you have a mother, you know how that feels. Like, if you saw like your mother being like literally shit thrown at her walking down the streets, getting cursed at, shame.
Every
Like-
time I do it, I just like.
And there's like a
ring
good, like, he just apologizes to her, and they kind of have this just nice moment that I enjoyed, even though I kind of just despise Cersei, which I will give it to the showrunners for even making me feel that, even though I do hate
We're
her.
not missing anything, are we?
I don't
that's
think
it.
so. I'm pretty sure that's it. Hit the main points. Jon Snow's back. I mean, we talked about Sansa. It's so funny because there's literally so many different stories happening within the one episode that's like
It's hard to, like,
different
recollect.
episodes within the episode almost.
Yeah.
It's the Sansa and Bran show.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Fuck! We did. Bran.
Oh, that's right.
my God,
Oh,
thank
of course.
God you
Yeah,
said
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I
That's
knew-
the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, so we see a flashback to Winterfell in better times. Young Benjen Stark, young Ned Stark, young Lyanna Stark,
Rolls in.
and fucking Hodor before he's Hodor.
And he's talking. Hodor talks.
So I forget his name,
I can't remember either.
but like
Something must have
if
happened.
this scene tells me anything, it's one, the Starks are very important this season. Ned, Benjen, and Lyanna more importantly.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Hodor has been there for that long, that I think Hodor knows or did something that benefited the Starks, but like he had to be silenced because the information was so vital. So could it be R plus L equals J? I don't know.
Dude, who knows?
I mean,
Hodor.
like what the hell happened to him?
And even like, so yeah, the three-eyed ravens in there with him, and he's like, Bran's like chilling, and he's like, dude, this is awesome. Just let me hang out. And he's like, we gotta go, and he like pulls him out of it. And my one friend said this, and I thought the other day, I'm like, how crazy would that be? What if the three-eyed raven was Bran? Somehow.
Whoa.
Right? right?
Oh, I never thought about
Like,
that.
what if that was like him from the future somehow?
No, I mean, I get
like,
that makes sense.
like that's like weird to think about. He's like, I don't know. That's just a weird little food for thought.
So
but,
we'll end on that now.
Yeah. I mean, basically, that was the end of it. He pulls him out of it.
If we get a flashback every episode, I'll be happy.
I think we are.
I mean, for at least a while.
Even the way that they're doing it, I like the way they're doing it. Because they even said at the beginning, they're like, they hated doing flashbacks, but the way now we get to experience it like with a character, that it makes it kind of
is going to be a very integral part, and like we have, I still like could not tell you.
They even keep saying like, you're not going to stay here the whole time. Like, you're going to leave. Like, they need you out there. And it's important to note, he's still paralyzed. I mean, he can walk. It's cool to see him walk around in the visions, but he's still paralyzed as in real life.
Yeah.
And that we do see the children of the... what are they? What was the witch person in the back?
I forget her name.
I can't remember her name, but basically we see these people who were like the people who ruled the North before the humans came in. The children of something, or
children of the first man. The first man.
No, it's not. It's
the
something
people
else.
who were on Westeros first were the first man. Yeah.
But okay, I'll look it up. I think it's something different because my friend said it to me the other day. But yeah, I think that's really it. Anything else to add?
Nope.
Awesome. Moving on to the Flash. So we got a powerless Barry this week, just trying to kind of get. Wait, is that this week?
Yes. Yeah. He's still powerless.
Yeah. This is when he's trying to get his powers back.
So pretty much all they want to do is recreate the particle accelerated explosion,
and there's pretty much Wells does. There's this whole kind of back and forth. You kind of see Barry with his, I guess, his three dads almost. Like he's got Wells, he's got Joe and Henry, and Wells is like, Barry, the only way you're gonna stop Zoom is if you have your powers. Like that's it. They try and they go through this whole thing. Barry's like, I don't think I can do it. We can't, not even just because of me. Like if we set up another particle accelerator explosion, that could be bad for everyone. And Barry's like, I can't. I have to be sure. And then they try and set up a trap. Zoom takes over Central. He runs into the police station with Caitlin. It's going to kill all the police officers. Caitlin talks her out of it. They set up at Jitters down the road, try and set up a trap for Zoom's lackey, who is Cisco's brother, or Rupture. Reverb's brother from...
Dude, I have to admit, he's been my favorite villain so far. I loved his costume.
It looks so... His like energy scythe.
Awesome.
Dude, it was awesome.
Very cool. My favorite so far.
And they're basically trying to set up a sting operation to get him... What was his name again? What was his name?
What?
Reaper?
Rupture.
They set up a trap to get Rupture, and they get him, and Zoom basically kind of has this breakdown and goes in and dude, this was a crazy scene. He literally...
Zoom's insane.
Zoom runs in, he's like...
Zoom is on another level than
dude, he's like, are you catching this? And he literally just...
Flash.
And he just cracks everyone's necks besides, like, Captain Singh and Joe and Barry. And they all just fall to the ground. And he's like, the only reason you're all alive is because Caitlin likes you or something. And he's like, and dude, you're literally
I'm coming for you, Flash.
And Barry's like, dude, I need to do that. Like, I can't. Did you see what just happened? Like, there's nothing we can do.
So they do the particle accelerator experiment, and it, like, kills, quote unquote, kills Barry. And he's obviously in the speed
he's
force.
got sense.
But, like, his suit gets ripped.
And
I'm like, he's naked.
Yeah, it's like
he's naked.
And so that's the assumption. He's in the Speed Force, and I mean, they're obviously gonna probably allude to it next. I mean, they are gonna be in the. He's in these like weird place. I don't even know. They don't say it's the Speed Force, but that's what we're assuming.
I didn't see the preview.
They're like, you're never leaving, Barry, and it's like Joe, but like it's not really Joe. I don't know. It looks confusing. I'm trying to think. Anything else? Yeah, we got some really cool Cisco moments this time around between his brother. Like, he gets his vision of his brother, and he contacts him, but it's really actually Rupture, and he doesn't realize it. And they kind of get this, like, rekindling, like, that they want to be brothers again. And it's cool.
Yeah, but we don't really see much of, what's his name?
Oh, Jesse Quick and
Kid
Flash.
Yeah, so when the particle accelerator breaks out, or blows up, Jesse and Wally try to escape the time vault, and they get hit by the wave and the particle accelerator, which is probably going to be how they get their speed force, which is cool. But we'll see what they do with that. Not get too far into it. We already talked about it enough.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be... like actually Kid Flash. I could see them doing
I
Impulse maybe, or
I couldn't even tell you what they're gonna do.
I really wish they got a younger actor to play him.
Yeah, we were talking like it's I don't know like
even
Flash,
Jesse Quick I feel like
Kid
seems
Flash
younger.
Is not Kid Flash.
He's not.
He's like teen boy Flash.
He's young adult Flash.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. But that's about it, I think, right?
Yeah.
Anything else to add? Dude, Zoom, honestly, they just built him out to be such a scary guy, honestly. I'll give him props for that. That's just my last little thought on it.
We're almost done here. Not too long. All our shows are pretty much in the last 2 weeks.
Moving on. Quantum Break. Finally finished it up.
Yeah.
Thought we'd just do a little quick convo, give our thoughts. Overall, enjoyed the game. Didn't think it was anything like I really liked it. I enjoyed it.
I really liked it.
I thought it was a very cool way of how they blended the TV show and the games. I haven't seen anything done that well. The TV show's on I feel like a sci-fi channel quality level, which is fine.
Yeah. They were there to support the game story, not necessarily be their own thing, which I like. They weren't there to be like, look at this little side thing we made. No, they were a part of
I'm
the
not
story.
gonna lie, in the middle I was kind of like, this is kind of boring. Not boring, but
they flesh out the characters they don't get to in the game.
But by the end, I will admit they got me really invested, between Jack and Paul, and it was just kind of this almost infinite loop. And you start to put it together, how it all fits. What's her name? The really important girl.
Oh, shit. Wow. See, it's been a while since I played
same.
Beth Wilder.
So you have Beth Wilder. You see how all these things, she's so important. People know her already, but she doesn't even know how people know her. And then you kind of put together how it kind of happens.
Her whole thing is super interesting.
Dude, she basically, tells herself that she's going to do these things, and because she tells herself
in a book,
and because she tells herself she does the things, and, it's a cool time travel story. I'll give it to them. I mean, it makes sense. You can't use the time machine unless you go back to a time where the time machine exists. So you can't go back to year 1. But technically, if the time machine exists in the year 2200, you can still go there. I mean, they justify their reasons enough to the point where I'm like, this makes sense. And I think the powers are cool. I will admit I did feel a little OP at some parts, but then there were...
Dude, the end gets really difficult. I played on hard.
It was a weird...
The last boss battle, took me, more than a few tries.
It was a weird, teeter-totter. I felt at the beginning, I was like, oh, I'm almost too powerful. And then I got to, the end, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm getting my ass kicked. And I couldn't even imagine playing on hard. I was on normal. And, normal was still pretty tough. But, dude, just solid shooting mechanics, very solid powers. I want Remedy to make a goddamn Flash game now with all those goddamn powers. They need to, but that's another conversation.
So, let's talk about the junctions. What did you pick? You picked PR for the first one, right? We had PR and the hard line. Yeah, I picked PR.
That's right. So, yeah, we both went PR. The first 2 choices, I believe we did the same.
And then personal outcome and business, I did
personal. Yeah. So...
For 3, it was Sophia Amaral or Martin.
I trust Amaral.
I did Martin.
See, Martin always rubbed me the wrong way, and you can see.
Dude, he's such a little cock.
He's a little snake fucker.
And then the last junction was controller surrender.
I surrendered because I assumed.
Does he go
He goes ape shit.
Really?
He goes He's all fucking out of time, and he just goes after Jack, and he's like, I don't fucking care about anyone anymore. Time's just ending. I tried to help everyone, but they just want to betray me.
Who fights you? Who do you fight when you get to the countermeasure? Because in mine, you fight Liam Burke.
Yeah, no, Liam, he dies for me.
Yeah.
He gets
Does
killed
Charlie
by Hatch.
Live?
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie gets killed by Martin Hatch.
And
Martin Hatch though.
He where? What is with him?
If anything, that ending, I would love. The ending is cool. The ending, the whole game is told in the persona of Clarice, the girl, the leader of the security. One of the leaders is interviewing Jack Joyce because they're trying to rebuild Monarch on a better level, and Hatch is there too, and he gets killed. And he got killed for you, right? Martin Hatch
taken in.
Martin Hatch dies.
Or no, yeah, I can't. Dude, I don't even remember.
He gets shot by.
There wasn't a 5th episode, correct?
No,
that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. He gets, but like, and then he's there at the end, and then he like he gives Jack the choice of like whether to rebuild the company or like leave, and I'm like, that's where they could do some sick DLC.
See, I don't even remember how mine ended. I'm pretty sure Hatch died for me.
Yeah, he dies and then he's there.
But Hatch is like, he's like dead for me, like totally.
Oh, for me, he was fucking there. For some reason.
I honestly can't remember the ending.
I think there was like a time something going on.
Yeah, so they fixed time, and I mean,
I just think the story was very cool.
It was cool. I'm interested to see what more they could do. Remedy is a really cool developer. They make some really cool narrative games. Like I said, make a fucking Flash game and then we'll talk. Like, dude, there's just so many cool running things, and
yeah, the gameplay was like not the greatest in my opinion. It was like a pretty normal third-person shooter with like some pretty interesting mechanics. But I like the story overall. I think it's where its strong point is, and it's a good pickup for the summer if you just want a single-player story to blow through.
Definitely.
Like, I thought it was very much worth it, and I very much enjoyed it.
Awesome. Moving on, we had a new Star Wars game announced on May the 4th. It's just another third-person action game developed by Remedy. Also, we have some other studios here working on games, including BioWare. I mean, DICE, they still list, so I think that's just kind of confirming them working on Battlefield 2, or that's just them talking about the DLC. Dude, we got like 5 Star Wars games in development at EA, and one of them better be a goddamn Knights of the Old Republic 3. I swear to God, if they don't make... Like, there's no reason why they can't. BioWare made the other 2. If they're not working on Knights of the Old Republic 3 or just a Star Wars MMO, period, that just doesn't make any sense. Or not an MMO, an RPG, I should say. Yeah. But, hey, what am I thinking? Moving on.
We got the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare reveal trailer, which is...
meh. Really meh, now that I've like dwelled on it.
Oh my God.
I mean,
let me
until
just get real mad.
Well, no, it was. I mean, it was cool until like it was like until they got into space.
They're just doing the same shit that other games are doing. Nothing about Call of Duty is innovative at all.
Well, I gotta say, when it got to space is when it got interesting for me.
Yeah, I will admit, like that was different, but like we have stuff like that already.
Well, yeah, I know, but we have stuff like first-person shooters. It's gonna be. I get it's hard for them to change. Infinite, and then we got that they're gonna release the Call of Duty 4 remaster.
Bullshit.
Only
way you can get the Call of Duty 4 remaster is if you buy the $80 version of Infinite Warfare. So they're pretty much just making you buy 2 games. It's like,
yeah,
why?
I get
why
that.
Not just sell it separately for $40?
Because
they compete with each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but like
they're gonna release it, Gooch. They're not gonna.
I don't want to get it. Like, I don't really care.
They're gonna release it on its own at some point, but they're not. I get it. I do get it. They don't want to release it and compete with themselves on the market. Do you know how many people love that game?
Yeah,
love that game like with a passion. Even people who don't play Call of Duty anymore. That would literally decimate their Infinite Warfare sales. I feel like. I don't think there's even a snowball's chance in hell that they would even compete. And even if it did, even if it was kind of close, you know how embarrassing that is? Yeah. That your old IP is selling almost just as good as your brand new one. I get it. Not saying I agree with it, but I think
I think it's horseshit.
It's whatever.
It's a real like sucker punch.
Anyways, I think that's enough about Call of Duty, honestly. Moving on, we got some Dishonored 2 details, so it'll be out in November of this year, November 11th. November 11th, 2016. 2 playable characters, as we already know, Emily Caldwin and Corvo Otano. You can choose the beginning. Gonna add a lot of cool...
Really? So, like, you pick one in the beginning? I'm probably gonna play as Emily.
I'm gonna, to try your new powers, but then think about it. You can literally go back through the whole game and play it as Corvo. It's probably a whole new game. Like, think about that.
That's awesome.
And then he has new powers, too. Like, imagine how much...
And he gets a voice.
Yeah. The guy who does, the synth.
Nick Valentine?
Yeah, he does Valentine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was also, what's his name in Skyrim? The bad guy in the Thieves Guild.
Yeah, he plays a lot of dude in Bethesda games. But did you say the release date?
November 11th, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Dude,
it was on the Game Informer I just got.
Vincent D'Onofrio's in it. Frickin' who was playing Emily?
Chloe Moretz again.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I love her, honestly. I think she's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, can't wait for this game. I mean, it's going to be a knockout of the park if it's anything like the first one. Also, I mean, we got a whole Bethesda conference coming up. We got to see what Arcane Texas is doing. Who knows what they're up to? That's another Bethesda studio. I'm pumped, man. I'm real pumped. Moving on. We got our first official trailer for Far Harbor for the Far Harbor DLC.
Yes.
For Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Looks
so this
cool.
is our first big DLC for Fallout 4. It's going to take place on an island called Far Harbor.
Costs $25.
Yeah, have to do with some synth stuff, some Children of Atom stuff, but I'm excited to get out of the Commonwealth, actually. I've been playing a Fallout a little bit, and it's starting to get to the point where, like, I don't have too much to do.
It's funny, like, I haven't played this Fallout nearly as much as I have played any other Bethesda game.
Really?
And that's kind of sad for me. And maybe it's because I should have gotten the DLC by now, like the Automatron and stuff. Maybe that helps. But, like,
yeah, that's all
I just don't feel like I've been as drawn into this one near like as Skyrim. Dude, I played Skyrim for like hours upon hours upon hours. Like
I put a lot of time. I think I have like
if they made Skyrim backwards
I don't know how many
compatible,
days I have right now.
I would play it again. Easy. But I don't know. Whatever.
I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm pumped.
Looks awesome. Moving on, just a little movie news, just quick tidbit. Star Trek 4 title was registered with the MPAA, so it looks like we're into Star Trek 4. I can't wait to see Into Darkness. Still think those are two solid movies.
I didn't even notice that was there.
Or not Into Darkness. What is it? Beyond? Star Trek Beyond, right?
Yeah.
All right. Moving on, we got our reveal trailer for Battlefield 1.
Yeah, so we
So Skeptical Gooch was wrong. So we're in World War One. We are back then.
See, and like this is what I mean, like first-person shooters. DICE is doing something that no one has ever done, and it looks good.
I mean, there probably has been a World War One shooter, but like not on this level.
Yeah. Someone who was skeptical about World War One video game on paper.
Like you were. I mean,
I'm saying this is me talking about myself. This trailer made me go, wow.
This could work.
This could fucking work!
Yeah,
we're getting nitty-gritty. Biological warfare,
really
mustard gas, zeppelins, biplanes. We're getting shovels to hit people with.
Dude, I don't think we realize how much technology honestly was invented back then. Like, dude, there's some pretty crazy like mustard gas and all that stuff, yeah, but like there was some technologies like guns and stuff.
Zeppelins, like I mean, I know they had miniguns and like
Zeppelins, they used to think Zeppelins were like the way of the future.
Dude, I looked up World War II weapons, like the guns that you're using. There's like
World War I
the American guns, like Browning. The Browning was in World War One. They can do a lot of stuff. But my question is, like, the trailer was awesome. It was some gameplay, probably mixed with some story.
Yeah.
Probably not multiplayer. It was probably. I'm gonna assume it was campaign, but it doesn't matter. I'm wondering how they're gonna do customization because, like, you could probably only what could they do?
I understand. That might be one of the things they just have to dial back on. To be honest.
Yeah, but. Honestly, I don't think they're gonna dial back. I think they're gonna do something
somehow
different. Yeah,
I mean, dude,
because like I was listening Angry Joe's reaction video, and he was like, because you know how like, I mean, they're probably gonna have an emblem and stuff, but like he's like, yeah, you can't really do scopes or red dots. I mean, like, yeah, you can do some scopes. I guarantee they have something.
There's some. Well, yeah.
But, like, it's really the question of, like, how customization is going to go. Like, if there are grenades, like I don't know when grenades were invented, if they were even in World War One. They were pretty premature in World War II. Like, the German-style grenades were really different compared to, like, the Americans. Yeah, and it's just going to be interesting to see what the technology is and like how that incorporates into the gameplay. How mustard gas is going to affect the game if everyone has gas masks or not. Melee weapons.
I mean, dude, you actually do see a guy pull down a gas mask because of the gas.
Yeah, so we see like one dude get killed with a shovel and one dude with a club. So like, are they replacing knives? Are they going to have knives at all? They're just going to have like Americans will have a certain melee weapon. Like, who knows? There's a lot of possibilities for this game, and I'm excited to see what DICE is gonna do. The title's kind of weird though. Battlefield 1.
I get it because it's supposed to be like World
War
I
understand, but like I was like, all right,
yeah, whatever. Interesting stuff. Can't wait to see more of it. We'll definitely see a lot more at E3, I'm guessing. Anyways, going back to the TVs.
Yeah, last two.
Arrow.
More Damien Dark development.
Was this
Oliver's trying to fight the idol by
that's right.
by going to that shaman that
Constantine tells him about.
Yeah.
So basically, they all kind of like break up a little bit to just kind of do their own things. He's like, take the week off. Thea goes with what's his face to somewhere. You know
She ends up being captured by Hive, which is essentially what happens.
In their like underground dome, basically, and Damien's
which is supposed to be it's something from the comics. Shit.
And basically, it's their
Monument
arc
Hill
for
you ever
Genesis.
heard of Monument Hill?
Yeah,
that's supposedly Monument Hill.
And like Damien Dark keeps talking about this Genesis thing, and it seems to be more like this kind of world-ending apocalyptic thing that he wants to do.
Yeah,
I mean, which kind of like it's funny because we know it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
we've been the Legends of Tomorrow. We've seen future Oliver. Like he's fine. It kind of, but still, yeah, she's kind of trapped down there. She starts to realize what's going on. What's his name has the yellow pills from Hive. He's like, what? Rouvet gave them to me to keep me healthy or something. And you see John go after his brother. He gets a beat on him and ends up tracking him down. Then he gets captured, and then he gets let go, actually. Or not like... Well, they do let him go on purpose, but they make it look like he frees himself. Leads him back to his wife and his child.
Who's on, like, a transport truck.
Yep. And... Dude... He ends up killing Andy.
I'm so happy that he killed Andy.
Dude, I am too.
Because, like, he was such a... I'm like, dude...
He's gone. He's not your brother.
I'm like, dude... He betrayed you, like, 3 times.
Like, he's not your brother anymore. Hive has him. There's just nothing you can do. And I did feel...
He doesn't even do it out of, like, want.
He does it as reaction. Like, the way he's like, I'm going to come after your wife and your child, and you'll never be able to sleep. And, and like, dude, his face is, like, so surprised.
Yeah.
It was a good moment. Very well earned, in my opinion. Like, we've spent this whole season with him, like, he's like, you beat on me, like, what am I supposed to do? And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? You're my brother. You betrayed us twice. Like, yeah, it was very well earned and it was a good episode.
Yeah. So last thing, Legends Tomorrow, episode 14. Vandal Savage is captured aboard the Wave Rider, and it's pretty much development between pretty much all the characters with Vandal Savage. And they're all fucking up, of course.
Well, yeah, no, I'd say
stupid decisions.
I'd say they're not. Most of them are like just kind of fucking up in a verbal way, whereas Ray actually tries to go in and fight Vandal Savage because he lets him get in his head.
Like an idiot.
And I was like, dude, Ray, what the fuck are you doing? And then he gets out, and then they finally end up capturing him. They get Carter's with him. Still, they have him on there. They finally end up reactivating him, I guess, or jogging his memories. And yeah, so he kind of helps out, and he gets stabbed once again by fucking Vandal Savage.
Yeah.
And he's not dead, apparently. He's still breathing. They get him to the vanishing point finally, and
we find that the Time Masters are on Vandal Savage side, which is it's like, well, we're fucked.
Yeah, like, I don't even know what to do now.
like that's kind of the issue with the show. They keep getting these points. They're like, oh no,
I'm not gonna lie. This was one that I actually really liked. I thought it was like, oh my god, and then he's like, I can't wait to meet your wife and child as he's walking out. I was like, oh, you fucker.
Yeah, and they imprison them all. So that's pretty much all that happens.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
I don't know. I'm not. This show is kind of like, meh.
It is. I wouldn't even. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm not. It's not. I don't think it's terrible at all.
It's just not hooking me.
Exactly. It's to the point of where Arrow and like Flash are. But
whatever.
What are you gonna do?
Well, that's it for this week. You can find us on Facebook at Everything Entertainment with Gooch and Trio.
Also on YouTube at, what's the channel? Gooch?
It's my personal channel.
Gotcha.
It says Anthony Rigucci, but if you Google Everything Entertainment, or not Google, YouTube search it, you should find it.
We'll be there, I swear. Well, I've been Trio.
And I've been Gooch. Thank you for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time.